Okay.
Hi, Terry. Thank you so
Hi.
much for joining me today. I am delighted to have this conversation with you. I want to take us back to February 2025 when we connected the first time. I remember it was a group call and we had a little facilitation. Do you want to tell us a little bit about where you were at that time in your life?
Oh my goodness. I was in a really difficult relationship and I knew I couldn't leave because I didn't have enough money to leave.
Mhm.
And so I thought, well, maybe my girlfriend referred me to the course where I met you. And she said, I think you might like this. And it took me 20 minutes of just watching that sort of thing to see that, yes, this was my kind of thing. And then I met you and we had a conversation. And I remember that. Uh, so you chose to work with me for, like a little 15-minute thing. I have no idea. It's how it seemed like a lifetime of work in that 15 minutes or whatever it was. But you asked me if I was a wanted child.
Mhm.
And the question shocked me. I had never considered that. And so things began to unravel in a way that really helped me. Sometimes unraveling is really good.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
So it was a kind of a shortcut in a way,
Yeah,
in a
absolutely.
way. Yeah.
And how did that unraveling look like in real life
Oh,
in terms of your relationship, finances?
well, I took everything that came up in this very difficult relationship. I just took everything to class.
Hmm.
So I never spoke to him about changing anything. I never requested anything from him. I just watched my own reactions to what he was doing, and I was hurt a lot. So I would just take that to class and I would, yeah. And so things started kind of melting open, I would say.
Hmm.
Um, I was in this especially vulnerable period for a long time there.
Yeah.
And so healing as a relationship coach, healing a difficult relationship while you're in the relationship. I had never done that. I had never done it. That's a remarkable thing. And it made me feel steady that anything that happens to me, I can use to my advantage. I can learn from it. And I've always known that, but I didn't know how to do this stuff, sort
Hmm.
of the trauma stuff. I
Yes.
didn't know how to do that. And so you gave me a real missing piece to my work.
Mhm. And it felt like it unraveled something very foundational in your life because you were able to leave that relationship.
Yeah.
And do you want to tell us about that process of what went on?
Yeah. I asked for a conversation with him. I mean, I knew it wasn't going well, and I could tell that he wanted to leave and that he was just hanging in there because he was hanging in there. And we were both, we had a lease. And so he was probably just waiting till the end of the lease to tell me that he was leaving. So I knew that that wasn't a shock, but I wanted to make it official. So I asked him for a conversation on December 31st, which was the day before my birthday.
Well,
And I thought, well, let's just get this done and start the new year right. And so we had a difficult conversation. He was very critical and very dismissive and kind of disgusted. I would really use that term. He was just like, he seemed disgusted with me. And I thought, wow, I, and it didn't hit me the way it would have before doing any work with you.
Mhm.
I thought that says a lot about him. And I've been doing so I just took big, deep breaths during this conversation. And I started making plans to what to do with my stuff and how in the heck was I going to do rent and where am I going to find a place to live? So I started on all that, but I had that underpinning of just this very soft confidence. It wasn't on the surface, but it was under there and I could feel it. So, oh gosh, that was amazing. It was amazing. And then a few days later, I'm not kidding. And it almost a few days after the other guy, Paul, said, I gotta go. Eddie, this guy that I had known for 9 years, texted me
Mhm.
on my birthday and said, I'm really looking forward to having coffee with you this year.
Oh, it gave me goosebumps.
And I thought, of all people, that's just so it wasn't even that I knew that was going to work out or that sorry, I gotta do this. It wasn't even that I knew that relationship was going to work out, but that was to me, that was a signal from the universe that I've got your back.
Mhm.
Things are okay. You can relax. I don't even know why I got that from such a tiny little message about let's have coffee.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so I just wrote back, me too.
Sweet.
Yeah. And then after I completed my thing with Paul, the difficult relationship, my friend offered me this place to live. I moved in and I was in pain from hip stuff. And so what was beautiful is once I got there, I said to her, what can I do in exchange for rent? And I love to cook. And she said, oh my gosh, my idea of a very good time is I buy the food and you cook. I
Wow.
said, it's a deal. So I made gourmet dinners for them every single night and that is something I find delightful. That was not a job. That was just like creativity in the kitchen.
Amazing.
So whatever she brought home, I made incredible things out of it. So that was just, and the whole thing with their family, that was just flawless. We didn't know if that would really work out.
What I'm
Yeah,
getting is this sense of how the universe has your back, right? You
yeah.
left that relationship and then immediately Eddie turned up and you've been having an incredible relationship ever since.
Oh my
You
God.
went from somebody feeling disgusted to somebody who is cherishing you and adoring you
Yeah,
at the level that you've never experienced before.
never,
So
never.
there's this beautiful man who shows up in your life. And then I know that when you joined the course, the finances were really tight. And
Yeah,
then life had your back. You stayed with that friend. Your your accommodation was covered, food was covered, and
yeah.
you were able to afford the course fees. And what happened after that, Terry?
So after being in the course and you know, I got together with Eddie for hours and hours of talking, in beautiful places over beautiful meals, just to see if this was a possible thing. And we kept being amazed and at each other. And what a kind, and then we thought, what shall we do? Wait till we're older to move in together.
Sweet.
And the most incredible, so that was funny. And another thing is he was already moving from Ocala, Florida to where I am.
Wow.
Oh my God. He wasn't planning on doing it so fast, but once he came up here and we had a chance to talk for hours and hours, um, he said, well, if it's okay with you, I'll be looking for a place for two. And I said, yeah, yeah. And there was this thing that happened in the kitchen when we were talking where we were both just so, I've been in relationships where you get kind of high and you're way too excited too fast. And this was not like that. This was this calm, centered, grounded, astonished, though, in amazement kind of a feeling. And he said to me in the kitchen one day, he said, let's always keep this. Can we just make a pact about that? I said, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
From my side, I know how to do that.
And the groundedness was in you,
Yes.
right? And
Yeah.
it kind of worked out in the relationship as well. It wasn't like, yes, you co-created it with Eddie, but it was already
Yes.
very innate by then for you to be in that
Yeah.
grounded place.
And isn't it incredible that a difficult relationship prepared me for him,
Yes.
for the love of my life? I mean,
Well, you prepared yourself for it by
but
letting go of all the imprints.
I did, but that's yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. You don't
Give
need the
credit.
difficulty to have something good.
You don't have to, but since it came, there it
Mhm.
was, and I used it to help myself
Yes.
and to heal from things.
And it's
So,
been wonderful for you to allow others to help you, whether it was your friend, and I know with the course fees, Eddie stepped in and they
mhm,
were able to
yeah,
continue to do the work.
yeah,
And then you went on top of your healing, right? Like in terms of physical healing,
yeah,
you got on top of that, you had two hip surgeries.
I did. That's
And
a lot. That's a lot.
And I remember when we were doing level one, there was just so much pain you were in
Yeah,
physically, like
yep.
every class. And as we were releasing the energies, the hip pain would just amp up and get really
Hmm.
strong. And you
Yeah,
just stayed with it and you kept doing the work, you kept showing up, and things unfolded beautifully from there,
yeah,
right? Like in terms of your physical health, I feel like you're just really
yeah,
blossoming now, and you are not in that distressed, pained place anymore.
yeah.
And then
I'm
came level two.
that was that was just I I I didn't know what that course would really do for me. And so it takes all that personal healing from level one and applies it in a business way. And boy, was I ready for that. You know, I'm sure that other people have said this to you, but I've done so much about marketing and trying to make things work and increasing my audience or who I serve, and it has never worked. Not really. And every time it started to, I know these feelings, every time it started to, something in me would just go, oh, you know,
Yes.
and then it would go back down.
Mhm.
And I saw it over and over. I just didn't know what to do with it.
Mhm.
So in level two, that's what you do.
Sweet.
Yeah, you clear the way.
And I remember when we started, obviously you were not in a place to receive clients. Things were challenging at a personal level. And
Yep.
so you were not making money. It was
No.
hard to call in clients. And then in the last few months, you had so many opportunities, whether it's clients or opportunities to speak.
Mhm.
Do you want to tell us about some of those good things that are coming?
Well, it's part of the thing is, if you make a direct effort to have something and it shows up, like I started posting more on Facebook and writing got easier after working with you.
Okay.
It took me less time. I was clearer about my message. So I appreciate that was huge just to sort of get back to writing because I really
Mhm.
like to do that. And so I got back to writing and started posting more on Facebook. And so I've done that before,
Mhm.
but people didn't reach out or it didn't produce what I had hoped that it would produce. And now it's getting a lot more action.
My sense
And
is that, sorry, go on there.
and just I posted this other funny little thing like in a thing called What's Up Asheville, and everybody started talking to me. I was like, wow, I don't know.
Amazing. My sense
Yeah,
is that piece we did around visibility,
yeah,
just that one clearing felt
yeah.
like so much opened up.
Yep.
And you had some invitations to speak on various events and occasions and
Hmm.
work with clients. And it's all so exciting that it's unfolding for you in this way.
It's incredible to do the same thing, quote unquote, that you used to do and have it work this time.
Mhm. Mhm.
What? Wow. You know, it's what I wanted when I was 30.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've waited 50 years for this.
Well,
54. Yeah, I waited a long time.
you still look like you're 30.
Sometimes I feel like it.
You look
Yeah.
incredible. And,
Yeah.
I think what I commend about you is that what I love about you is that you showed up. Like, it was hard. You were going through such a massive transition and experiencing pain, discomfort, worry, anxiety around money, and all of it, all at the same time. And you kept showing up and doing the work
Yeah.
and doing the work, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it takes,
Yeah.
including with level two, right? The way you approach the material, you just put it to action. Yes, sometimes there were bumps and resistance coming up, but on the whole, you just
Yeah.
showed up and did the work. And then the work paid off, right?
Yeah. I, it showed up in interesting places, like in my family with my sisters.
Yes.
I haven't had, I would say, I, I don't have any kind of connection with my family really, and I
Mm.
don't think they like me.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? That
Yes.
they don't get me, they don't talk to me, they don't. And every time I try to talk to them, it just sort of ends up to be about the weather,
Mhm.
it can't have a deep conversation. My family is terrified of that.
Sure.
Everybody in my family, you just don't do that. So having a shift with one of my sisters was a pretty incredible thing.
Yes.
Yep. Um,
Because
I,
you
I,
went from them not talking to you to them actually consulting you about your mother's welfare and care,
mhm,
right? Um,
yeah, they listened.
mm,
And I was lighter probably, I'm sure, than I was months ago.
mhm,
And so there was, it's that thing you say, Gulara, about people's energy.
mhm.
People read your energy.
They do.
And yeah, and so they respond according to whatever the state is that you offer them. And apparently mine had changed.
Yours has changed dramatically, and I am
Yeah,
so delighted to see all these shifts and all these amazing changes and transformation in your life, but also how you are able to bring it to your clients. It doesn't just stop with you, it's like the ripple effect on Eddie, on your sisters, on your clients. It's just like the ripple effect is growing every day. And the
yeah,
way you show up is there's so much um, authority, confidence, and you show up as an expert, right? Not somebody who just would like to have clients. You show up very differently. It's very centered, very grounded, very knowledgeable, very loving, very open. And then people respond to that very
yeah,
differently.
they do. I just started with a new client and she wants from me,
Mhm.
needs from me what I now can do. I
Yes.
can help her with that. And that's the thing I was referring to earlier about sort of the missing piece in my work. She's had such a traumatic childhood,
Mhm.
and I didn't really know what to do with that before. And also in myself, and this happens with people, compared to her, my childhood was a piece of cake.
Yes.
And so I kept thinking to myself all these years, oh, mine's not that bad. I should just get over it. I
Mm.
should, why am I so upset about that?
Yeah.
You compare yourself. And I'm just so happy that I can help her with what she needs.
Because you walk that path. And,
Yeah,
our childhoods may be different, may look different on the outside, but how it lands in us and how it makes us feel
yeah,
probably is not that different from how the client's feeling now. and you kind of walked and you're on the other side and you can take them by their hand and bring it alone.
Yeah.
And you've come such a long way, and that means that you can take them way further
Yeah.
than, in the past.
I did that with this client yesterday. She was just in an hour, she was a whole different person. And she just was like, oh my goodness.
How amazing is that?
How amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
beautiful.
she was so soft and so able to kind of talk to this inner part of herself that she had told to sort of sit down and shut up, just like her mother told her, to
Hmm.
just ignore and dismiss. And so she was doing that with parts of herself.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do
So
that.
I referred her, just so you know,
Uh-huh.
I gave her the one of the public talks that you had when you launched your books, befriending the banished
Yes.
parts of your
Mm.
ourselves.
Yeah,
And so I sent her that link, and that's one of her assignments.
sweet.
Yeah.
Glad to
So
be
thank you
able
for
to
that.
help. You're so welcome
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to tell those who might be tuning in with this recording?
Well, the other pleasure about getting something for yourself, if you want to call it that, healing yourself in certain ways, is that then you can give that to other people. And so I'm starting to refer people to you
Oh,
who, so passing it on. It's really about
yes.
passing it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can help some people. Some people need it from you. It doesn't really matter. It's just that it gets done in whatever way works for that person.
Yes.
So they know I'm available. If they want to come to me, they can. And I have sent your information and like that one video I sent to my women's group.
Mm.
And there's a psychologist in there and she was like, wow.
Sweet. Sweet.
Yeah,
Well,
and one of them came to your last event.
oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
But how wonderful to be at ease where there is this sense of abundance in the world. There's plenty of clients, plenty of people for all of us.
yeah.
Right? That feeling doesn't come from a place where we are in lack or fear or worry, anxiety. We don't want to share. Like they're
Yeah.
gonna abandon me. They might like her better, and then I won't be good enough. But just how many stories have you shed off, Terry, just to be in this space of
Yeah,
abundance and ease and love, where it's all in service. It's
yeah,
so inspiring.
yeah. Being able to be in service to more people is what you've given me.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Terry. And thank you for being in service again by sharing your story. I am so grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm beyond grateful.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet. Thank you.
Thank
And to those who
thank
are listening, if Terry's story resonates with you and you want some of, like,
you.
it didn't happen overnight for her. She did the work. She showed up day in, day at night, and did the work. And then she benefited from the results. And so, if that's you and you feel that dedication and commitment to your journey, to your healing, to your learning, then your next step might be my level one practitioner training. And I would love to welcome you with open arms so that you could have some of the benefits that Terry has so beautifully described and shared with us today. Obviously, results vary. We are all in different places in our lives. Terry has done a lot of work before, but it was that tipping point that takes you to that next level. Whatever that next level might look like to you, you can absolutely get it if you show up and do the work. That's all. I would love to invite you. Come and join us if this calls you. Thank you, Terry.
Go. Go.
Thank you so much.
All right.